Alright, so I think that I got authentication to work decently well. I mean, I can sign in, basically. And that's the only way I can save. So if I do this, I can save it now. I should be able to see that on the database. Although I'm not totally sure. Yeah, it should be fine. Here? Yeah, so that should be saved. Which is great. So hopefully that means I can just edit straight in this editor. And whenever I make a change, I can just save that online. And not have to worry about it anymore. I think. There's no... It prints to the console when I save, but there's no indication on the screen, which isn't that great. Whatever. But if I were to go back now and come back to this, then this formatting of the LaTeX is still there. So that's pretty nice. What I kind of want to do now is just try to use it some more and see if I run into any other quality of life things that I want to fix. Okay, so I have 2 animations here. This way of doing animations, that's really not that great. I don't know if I want, you know, if you want you to have to do this each time. But anyway, there's this. And do I have and I do have the fade in animation. So I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna do an add fade in for the triangle. Like so. If I do that, self dot triangle. I don't think it needs this argument. I don't have a good way to control backspace here with my keyboard. Okay. So now hopefully if I click again and nothing happens. Okay, self.triangle. It isn't added. So I guess I have to add that first. Or I'd have to set its opacity to 0, I guess. Let me try this. Self.triangle dot must be set opacity or something like that. Or yeah, maybe it's set opacity. I don't know. And render that. Okay, so now it doesn't appear. Okay, so this is what I had before, and this is reactive the way I want, but the opacities of the circles are fading into 1 rather than fading into 0 where they were before. And so I have to make a change to fix that. Also, I can take out this duration. That can just be 1. So what I basically got is this is a web animation. And the reason it's separate from the regular animations is that the regular animations have a lot of bloat that isn't needed for the web. But what I basically need to do is overwrite the begin method and write an update. Yeah. But if I look at it here, it's doing set opacity, which is not what I want. I don't want everything to be set to opacity 1. I want it to be set to the opacity, or interpolated to opacity 1. I want it interpolated to the opacity that it started from. So I'll initialize this dict here, then I'll try to store the starting opacities for each object in a family. So it'll be something like for mob in... Oh, it doesn't even have its mobject. How annoying. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, oh, the shift has a mobject. The fade in has a mob. Oh, the fade out does take a... The add fade out takes a mobject. But the web animation itself does not. But this function has a closure around the mobject. That's how it updates it. I should just pass the mobject though. I should just have the mobject here. I really should. Then I can save that self.mobject. Although some animations may not have a mobject, I think pretty much all of them will. Most of them will. I guess if it's using the standard from classic manim, then animations will have a mobject. Okay, and from there, I'm gonna update all this code so that it takes a mobject. So here, here, here. Those web animations to take a mobject. And I don't think I actually have to update anything down here. So I'll just recompile this and make sure those changes worked. Is manim on version 10, by the way, now? It is. Actually, this might actually be version 10 because it doesn't update the version string automatically. But okay, now that that's been recompiled in, I should be able to just save this. There's still no indication when it saves. Also, I put a code error somewhere. I think that's successfully saved. And then try doing this again. Eventually, any of the errors that get emitted from the animation, I'm going to want to just show here or somewhere. Since right now this terminal isn't really doing that much. But okay, this did save because the web animation is being passed the object now. I think this should just work, maybe. Save law signs have this. Okay, so does the exact same thing as before. That's great. Now so now this has the object passed and self.mobject, so I can do like for submobject and self.mobject. It's gonna be like get family. I'm gonna want to basically put in a mapping from the object to its current opacity. Um... Can I just get opacity or something like that? There's a get opacity. So I guess that's all. Wait, RGBA's at 0,3? Oh, this is row 0, column 3. Okay, that makes sense. This should just be a float. Hopefully. It'd be nice if this was typed, but alas. So then I can do... Well, also I have to check what get family does. Returns this list of self.family, and I think this gets updated whenever you do add. Some objects that append. Update the parents, then assemble family. And this is going to create the self.family. Okay. Alright, and I guess I actually want to do, like, with points. Family members with points, and then... Yes, I guess I'll just do that. Family members with points, I'll do... Object to opacity for that object. Sub-object is going to be that sub-object. I get opacity. If I can type it. There we go. Okay. Object to opacity. Should this be self? Yeah, this should be self. Okay, so that's very straightforward. That's how it'll begin. Update function. It's kind of weird that the update function is done here. Isn't it? Like, that's obviously never going to change. So I guess that's a little weird. Right now I'm just going to recompile this, make sure nothing broke. So I'll come back here. It should just do the same thing that it did last time. Okay, so that's great. I'll just check for errors. And there's nothing here. Great. So this update function. Where's this update function even? Oh, that's passed to it. Okay. I think it's fair. Well, so this is a self.update function, I guess. I want this to have its own update function. So it's the update that's called... How would I do this? Maybe just here I can have def update function. Which I don't even remember what it takes. The just a time. I'll call it t. Right now I won't have this do anything, and then at the end of this I'll have self.update function equals that. Now that update function, I'm going to want to interpolate. It'll be something like this. Going to that family again. And then setting its opacity based on that dictionary. So submodule that set opacity, it should be pretty much here. T minus starting time divided by duration. Okay, so it's just this. And it should have its own duration. No, it doesn't have a duration. It only has a start time and an end time. Start time. Does this make more sense in terms of a start time and an end time, or a start time and a duration? Probably a start time and a duration, I think. A start time and an end time is a little weird. I'll just keep it the way it is for now and just compute the duration on my own. This will be end time minus the start time. Oh, because it's always taking in a time, so usually you'll want that end time. So I'll probably need both of those. Okay, but that's fine. Right, this will be self.start time. And self.duration. For subobject, okay, so it's iterating through the same list, assuming you don't do anything weird. It's going to set the opacity to this, and I'm going to want to scale this by self.object to opacity, indexed at that object. Web animation class, yeah. It's a good time, I think. There's some stuff on it that doesn't make a ton of sense, to be honest. Like, basically all the functions should probably be baked into the... Oh, well... I see why I did this. From that emoji, it seems like you don't like the idea of a web animation class very much. But for this fade in, I'm going to try to replace that with this fade in. Object start time, end time function. No instance opinion. Gotcha. Int object is no attribute parents. I'm going to assume there's some problem with how this is being passed. Self.object. Okay, I think this will maybe work. Maybe. Okay. I'm going to recompile that. Seems like you've gotten rid of scene. No, but I probably could for the web. Oh, actually, yeah. The scene is where it stores even what it's supposed to do. So I guess I do need that. There's not nearly as much stuff in the scene that I need for the web. But, I just decided to use it since it has a decent amount of it. Okay, there's a fair chance that this could break. This could totally break something. But it didn't, so that's good. It didn't work though, so that's unfortunate. Oh, but the fade in, something didn't save. The fade in isn't using the fade in animation. It should be like that. That was actually weird. Let me try. I don't know if I can just refresh this without going to the selection page first. Yeah, now it's on, it defaults to the sine cosine thing. The triangle doesn't show up in the law of sine. Yeah, it isn't there. I didn't add it yet. Okay, but I guess I have to start from the selection, I guess. Okay, so hopefully this will work. No, same thing. Int object has no attribute parents. So something's being passed out of order. Fade in. Object start time, end time, update function. This is going to be something annoying. I guess I'll just go here and try to print the self.mobject. I got seriously sidetracked with authentication. I guess it's sort of necessary. Oh man, I can't even go back after there's a bug. But I can log in and log out now. Which is... Actually, I had to do that entire thing just because I wanted to be able to save. And the only way to be able, that I could save to an online database is by having a way to save to like my specific self. Or like it'd be weird if everyone was overwriting the same code. Why is this not printing it? Int object is not attribute parents. Oh, animation fading.py. It's using a different fade in. So it's using the regular fade in when I want to use the web fade in. That sucks. Maybe just say web animation.fade in or something. Maybe I want to do this. Import web animation as web and something like this. Or maybe I'll just import the ones I want. I could just, yeah, like do it like this. Now this is actually not that great either because it's overwriting it. And that could potentially fail in weird ways. Whatever, I'll just save this. And try it again. Okay, so then it didn't fade in at all. Object opacity at sub-object. It didn't? OpenGL Math Tech. It didn't go through the family, it seems like. It only printed the triangle itself. Oh, because I faded out the entire triangle. Here I set opacity 0 for the entire triangle. So how do I want to do this? If I... Okay, let me see what this does. Okay, even that didn't work. And that didn't work because it isn't recursing, it seems like. It's only doing the triangle itself. And I guess the math tech itself. Twice. Let me see. I'll print out all the sub-objects. And then its opacity. Okay, so it's going through the SVGs, and those have opacity 1. Why is it not including the circle? Rectangle 0. All of them have 0. Why? Oh, this still has set opacity 0, so I don't want that. Okay, that's closer to what I want. But the OpenGL circle has opacity 1. I think I have to do the fill opacity and the stroke opacity separately. Because what does get opacity do? Self.rgbas? But isn't there fill RGBAs and stroke RGBAs? Like there has to be. Yeah, there are. Okay. Object to opacities. Is this what get opacities does? There is no get opacities. Okay. Okay, but I'm gonna want to do a map like this. Fill. And I'll do get fill opacity. And that didn't quite work. This will be stroke opacity. Get fill opacity, get stroke opacity, okay. Object to opacities for type fade in. That's weird, I'm setting it right there. And then set opacity doesn't take fill and stroke separately. Is there a set fill opacity? I guess you have to use regular set fill. And then pass the opacity thing. Use this index.fill. Okay, then I'm gonna scale it by this. And then pretty much the same thing with stroke. Set stroke opacity equals that. Okay. Alright, so I'll try to compile that. Okay, so this is the fade in here. It's not setting the triangle opacity to 0. Fade in object is an attribute mobject to opacities. How is that possible? How? Web animation line 33. So it's here that failed. Is something here misspelled? Yeah. Okay. So I can come back here. Okay, that's what I mostly wanted it to do. Oh, because something with the SVG elements, their opacities aren't quite right, I guess. That's really annoying. Wait, let's see. Add fade in, there's add fade out. This intro scene. Add shift. There's only... Okay, there's 2 fade ins. One is for the equation. And that one's not fading in at all. The SVG with this has been pretty buggy. For a few reasons. One is that it actually is buggy even in the regular manim. And then another is that the fix for it was also fairly complicated. But from what I see here, I can be fairly certain that the problem is with the SVG logic and not with the animation logic. Although it's working here. It's working for the law of sines for some reason. If I render for this, it just appears. Add a fade in of the law of sines, self-zero law of sines banner. I wonder what happens if I put this. Wait, the equation is even added here. Oh, I set the fill opacity and stroke opacity both to 0, so I did a similar thing. And I translated it for some reason. Okay, so I'll not do that. Okay, now the fading in works. But what I need is to add it automatically, I think. I guess the regular manim will add a object if you animate it and it's not added. It'll just animate it. I mean, it'll just add it. So maybe I needed something like that. So like I won't have to add this and I won't have to add this. This I'm pretty sure won't work. Yeah, because it won't automatically add those. But what I need is here in begin. Because begin is called when the... Wait, begin is called when the web animation is initialized. So when I call, like whatever, add fade in, that's when it's going to initialize the web animation. So that means it'll be added and the opacity will be set to 0 on the click, I think. Does this even have the scene? It doesn't. Man, what a pain. Well, this is this stuff in self.begin. I guess I'll have to give it the scene? But do regular animations even have access to the scene? If I look at this. They don't. They just have the object and stuff. Oh, but the scene itself, when it calls play, it must add that. Which I think actually... Does that make more sense? I guess neither way makes a ton of sense. It actually probably makes more sense for the scene to do it than for the animation to have a reference to the scene. So like here there's a reference to the scene. So here for the fade in, I can just add the object here. Or I could do that for all of these. I'll try just doing it for the fade in. So here it'll have its full opacity. Wait, what happened? Some indentation thing. The indentation areas are so hard to see in this. I think that should work. It did do what I thought. It added it and it was at full opacity. And then it faded it in. So it adds it and it's at full opacity, then it fades in after that. So I do have to add the object and then like run the update function with t equals 0 or whatever. Let me see, can I just do that here? You can call begin, which doesn't do anything. Maybe this should just do update starting time. Self-let start time. I think that also happens in the regular manim. So I'll do all this stuff. Begin will update it to the start time. And then it can start the animation. I'm more confident that this will do something like I'm looking for. But it didn't. Don't know why that happened. Update self.start time. It must have been exactly this. So I should have done update function at t. Oh, wait. Yeah, it did the begin. Oh, wait. Yeah, it did the begin. But this overwrites begin, so it never would have added it. Self.update, self.start. Yeah, I guess I have to do like super. Something like this. I think that's the syntax. Yeah, super dot whatever. In this case, super dot begin. This will add it. Then it'll do all this stuff. Oh wait, not here. But here. Because then it has an update function. So it'll do all this stuff which I need. It'll do begin, which will be overwritten to here. This setup where it creates the update function. Then begin will update to the start time. Why did I do this? Oh, I guess it shouldn't receive this update function as an argument, I don't think. That's kind of weird. Otherwise, I would just use an updater or something. Okay. Still, why would that happen? Oh, wait. Oh, it didn't save. Maybe. I'm not sure if I should do auto-saving. Okay, self.add mob. So now it'll do this stuff. It'll begin. The object's already added. It'll call begin here. This will update its start time. That'll set its opacity to 0. Self is not defined. Oh, yeah, that should be seen. Now, I may even be able to run this without doing any update. No, something else went wrong. Still, how? Okay, now this is getting me pretty confused. So I do begin here. This should be setting its opacity to 0. But then after that, well, that should only be after it was added to the dictionary. Let me just print these values again. Fill and stroke. It looks like it's doing the right thing. It has them at 1. Oh, then it has them at 0 after that. And they're all 0. Why? There's one of them where it's 1 and one of them... Oh, is this still being set to opacity 0? Man, I should... This makes me really think I should do some sort of auto-saving. Okay, because then it works. Because that was a lot of basically wasted debugging time. So now I shouldn't have to add this, shouldn't have to add that. Now it appears here, this appears, and then that appears. Great, so now it's doing everything I wanted. Cool. Let's get rid of these prints. And now that I'm doing this anyway, I'm thinking I might as well optimize this a little bit and say, I don't know, interpolated value or something. Just factor these out. Like that. And that. Okay, so now that's just a one, just this and then a dictionary lookup. Wait, for subobject, self-dead duration, there's actually the same for each object too. So I might as well do that out here, not within the for loop. Cool. Actually, the more I look at the, wait, begin. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess this does have to be here since it's at the end. I was thinking I could factor this out, but I don't think I can. Update to self.start time. Well, no, I think I can actually. I could just put this here. Self.update, self.start time. Then this can be a pass. And then not call the super function here. And I think this works. Also, this, I don't think this makes any sense. I think I can just do that, right? And if this works, which I hope it does, it'll be a lot cleaner. Here's hoping this was saved. There's a decent chance it wasn't. Okay, that I didn't understand. Must have added a bug when I was doing like this stuff. Ah, man, Vim. Too many changes at once. I'll just keep it that way. And if this works, then I'll fix it and stuff later on, or like simplify the code later on. Okay, that mostly worked. The only thing is that the equation was added before it should have been. That's still not saved. That's so weird. Did I just never do that? Okay, save that. Okay, now all I want is the creation of the triangle to happen after a delay. Oh, and I am doing this in terms of a duration here. Let me make this t plus, I don't know, half. This can just be duration 1. Okay, so I have this. Okay, and then this I can move around. Great. That's doing everything I want now. So now, maybe I should just push this. I could push this, or I could try to make the optimization I was making before. Which is like basically this. Interpolated value equals that, and then use interpolated value here. If I try to do this alone, hopefully I can get that working properly. I should change my background one of these days. Or my wallpaper. Okay. And then we just try it here, actually. And that failed immediately. Required positional argument update function. Init. Init missing one required positional argument update function. Well, that argument, it's an argument to web animation. So there's some web animation being called that isn't getting the update function. We go back to this. All of these are, I think. It might be the way I'm calling super. Oh, it's just something with the present because it's working here. That's annoying. But then again, I guess I haven't checked the present logic in a little while. What happens if I just try to go to here? Yeah, it's something specifically with present. Missing one required positional argument update function. Maybe this is because there are still... Oh, there are still scenes which are calling the web animations without giving that... without passing the mobject, I guess. That's what it must be. And I guess the default scene is one of those? That has to be what it is. Self-t equation, blah, blah, blah. Oh my gosh, I really can't search this. Oh, there it goes. For all of these, it's fine. I think the default argument is actually the law of signs class, this one. Which I wrote kind of long ago now. It's gonna be pretty annoying trying to figure out. Well, if I just switch the scene here and then try to render that, I think one of these should fail. No, that's working. Let me try this one. That's working too. So why would this only fail on present? Let's see. Oh, here's a hint. It's importing the... Yeah, it's reading that code from the local files. Which it shouldn't be. Wait, manim scene at props.presentData.name. Switch scene, it's calling render. Yeah, this is the code. You shouldn't be reading this from the local thing. It shouldn't even have to import this, actually. It should basically do something like this get code ref. And this, now I gotta do some architectural stuff. This might be better suited being higher up the tree. Like, getting this code ref depends on the present data, which is really like the scene selection data or whatever. I think for now, should I do this or... I really should do this the right way, I guess. Wait, get code ref. Basically just checks the user and then checks the present data. Then from there, it usually tries to pull the code. I guess I can put this in a higher up function and pass it down to here. Then when this is reading code, it can call the same get code ref function. So I guess I'll do that. So this won't be part of app. This will be part of landing. Function get code ref, okay. And we'll get the user here. Props.presentData. Not props anymore, but the present data. Present data is a reactive. Okay. So I think this should still work. I just have to do get code ref here. Pass that here. So now both the app will be able to read this, and the present will be able to read this. So find the props. So I can pass down this function. And everywhere that this get code ref, it should be props. Yeah. And I can remove this. Great, then I can do the same thing here. And Now when this is reading code, like here, it should read this from the code ref. Yeah, like this. Code ref equals this, snapshot equals that. I guess this would have to be an async. I'll just call it. Oh wait. Can I put async here? I don't know if that's correct. But I can just make the entire onMounted have an async function. I wonder if I can just say... I guess it can. Yeah, you can. Just put an async whatever and do it there. I like to not have to wait for the component before to be mounted before I start my async calls. Yeah, I think this is what I want. Just put async here. Now I can do await here. And then I'll be able to get this code with like snapshot.val, I guess. That's the code to use there so I can get the scenes. Great. Then in render, in this callback, it's calling this render scene function, which is taking the code. So this is also going to need that code. Wait, when I switch scene... Oh, it just does the render. Maybe we should just have the, wait, props.presentData.scene. This should just be like the file name or whatever. Oh man, hold on. What else does this render callback? It must be this in the app. Emit play, emit pause. Oh, this doesn't do emit render. Oh yeah, it does here. And it uses editor.getValue. Which is actually what I want. There's a few levels of complexity here. If I present, should I automatically save? I guess? Well, I don't know if I even can. Editor.getValue. When I go to present, and this is only taking a scene and a file name. There's no code. Should I bother trying to juggle around unsaved code? I don't think I want to deal with that. Not right now. So, in the present, when this does render, oh, here it's actually easy because I already have the code. So I just pass that code. Here where you switch scene, this has to be an async function. And it's going to have to read code like this. Is that okay? Well, no, it's kind of silly because I already have this code. And then I'm reading it again. I should just have it like a const current code, which can be null initially. And then here, update that current code. Or I can just call it code, like why not? Update the code here, read the scenes from the code there, render with the code here. When I switch scene, I'm going to, I just want to use the same code, but change the scene name, and I think that's all. And then when that happens, when it calls switch scene, oh, it doesn't call switch scene, it just calls render. Which does this, render scene. This will update the present data, and then it'll start playing. And I have very little faith that that'll do anything even remotely like I want it to on the first try. Okay. Database not defined. Great. Landing 318. Okay. Oh, the database is used a few places here. Oh, I actually need it there. Well, not really. I think I can just have it here. Code wrap. Should I just pass around the same database instance? Probably not. I think that's fine. Okay, I think the database is only used like right here. Assignment to a constant variable. Present line 82. That's true? Wait. Code. I did make that a constant. Because I was thinking it's reactive, but that doesn't need to happen. For unmount. That's fine. Okay. Oh, it starts showing the scene before it's loaded, which I guess isn't terrible. Let me see if the rest of this works. It seems to be doing what it's supposed to. Try this. That seems to be doing what it's supposed to. For the second time, that was a lot faster. Also, that delay isn't happening. It's supposed to start sliding up and then later on, it should, the triangle should appear. Okay, but that seems to be working. Let me see if it works with assigned coasts. It looks like it is. If I go here, that's working. Did I... Maybe I didn't save when I added that delay. Here's the fade in. Yeah. Here, this should be t plus like 0.5 or something. Okay, that looks a lot nicer. If I try to go from here... Okay, so that looks pretty good. I feel like it might be... If I do this over and over again, does this get slower? I feel like it might be running more render loops, like one of them isn't paused or something. Maybe what happens if I close this entirely. And then go to present this. Yeah, now it's way smoother. So something... There's something that's like not being paused. I guess if I just do this over and over again. Like that's a little bit slower. Come back. I think that's a little slower too. Yeah, it looks like it's like these loops are stacking up. So I have to look into that, see why that happens. Oh, this is supposed to be stopping here. When I mount this, what happens? Does this emit render? My switch scene, it also emits a render, but when I do that, this scene, it pauses first. I guess before unmount, when it emits a pause. Play render loop equals false, so that should stop it from playing. Then I go from that to a render scene again. I should do the start new scene. Is that old animation loop ever cleared? I forgot what it is. Canvas? I haven't looked at this in a while. Props.play render loop else. So here, on console.log. Okay, so when I stop playing, this will stop doing the request animation frame. And so when I stop playing, it'll automatically stop the loop. If I play it again, then it'll request a new animation frame. When I do canvas start new scene, this doesn't do a play render loop. Oh, but it emits a canvas finish. That's interesting. Okay, so I'm gonna try to see if I can find where this thing quits and restarts the render loop. So here it's starting a render loop. When I go back, it doesn't quit. As far as I could tell, it never logged it in the console here. This quitting render loop. If I switch the scene, does it? Yeah, and if I switch the scene, it does print it. So something's wrong there. When I go back from present, it isn't stopping the render loop. So I'm doing this, emit pause. Is that not enough? So this has play render loop equals false. And when play render loop equals false, play render loop should be passed down to this. Let's play render. I don't think I need dot value. Even though this is a ref. Is this watch on play render loop? Oh no, here it's just reading play render loop. And when that's false, it should go down to here. So is that not happening? Let's go here. Go back. Go here. Go back. Go here. Go back. Looks like it's not changing. When I go back, that just isn't working. Where is it? In present. On before unmount, this isn't doing what I expect it to. And it's kind of hard because I'm not sure where it's not working. Let's see, amidst the pause. That should go straight to here. Play render loop equals false. So this doesn't happen. Why wouldn't this stop it immediately? I don't get it. This is canvas. Oh, let's look at present. Oh, wait. Play render loop is here. Play render loop is here. Pass that to present and the prompts. Here's play render loop. Pass that to canvas. Then go to canvas. That looks right. It's a boolean here, yeah. So is this not propagating all the way? I'm gonna go ahead and write a console log within the emit function. Try to do that. It looks like Thagity would work, the emitting pause. Why? Emit pause, and there's... I'm gonna see if... I'll go here. I'll render something. Oh, I think I have to restart this. Okay, try this. Okay. So this is working. This, for some reason, isn't working. Before unmount, emit pause. Maybe before unmount is like too soon or something? Wait, that time it worked. It does do setting play rendered to false. Why that time? What it might be? And it's still going choppier. So it did set it to false. That's good. But what I need is it for it to quit the render loop. And did that happen? No. Okay, so go here. And it has this extra scroll distance for some reason. That's also annoying. Why is it doing that? Whatever, deal with that later. Okay, so here it's smooth. Well, I have the console open, but if it wasn't. It is set to false here, but that scene isn't stopped. So that should be passed to the present here. And that should be passed to the canvas here. But I guess I never made it that far. Why? Maybe there's something I can do from the router? Like here on this before resolve. I have this if from dot path. Maybe just here I can say play whatever equals false. Like stop playing when I leave present. Let's see if that helps. Although it's a little less satisfying, a little unsatisfying to do that from... Do that externally from the... Okay, so that time it worked. It quit the render loop. Doing it externally from the component is a little less satisfying. But now it's also smooth the second time. And if I come back, it's also smooth the third time and so on. Nice. Okay, I guess I'll do that. Since that's what's working. This should clear the scene. Switch scene. Great. Okay. So now I have to figure out why there's this extra scroll wheel. Especially since I thought I'd gotten rid of that. Must have been when I switched around the CSS a little. Because on the present screen, this one, it has only the canvas. Oh, it has the menu, but that menu, wait. Oh, maybe it's this div. Because at the canvas has 100% everything. So can't do like class equals, I don't even, is it margin or something? Base increment. Is it the W app thing? The height. 100 VH. I think that made it worse. Went to this div and I did height 100 VH. Okay, so it is that div. It's the wrong size. And before I didn't have that div. So maybe this can be... Can it just be height 100% or something? No, that doesn't do it. Yeah, I guess I just have to have this thing have height 100 VH and width 100 VH. I guess if that's true, then the canvas style, maybe this can just be 100%, both of these. Who knows what it's doing now? Wait, what in the world? That's interesting. Why is 100% just not filling the whole thing? Whatever. Oh wait, did I do this wrong? VH... Oh, this should be VW. Okay, now maybe this is working. Okay, now it's full screen. It's doing this, and it's quitting when it's supposed to. Great. And if I could just get rid of all this logging, play render loop change. 71 and 103, I think I got both of those. Great. Great. So now if I'm a logged out user, I could come in here. It's not that great, there's no indication. Oh, actually, the first time you do this... Oh, wait, now what happened? That was pretty weird. Here, it looks like it's working. Oh, wait, no, it looks like it's not working. What happened? One positional argument update function. This is when it was using the old code. But I fixed that, so... Did I write new incorrect code? Yeah, present doesn't even import the local code anymore. And get rid of this though. And that, yeah. So let's see what this does. And even this has something wrong with it now. And no wonder, because it's using older code. Oh man, I think I know what happened. When I was making those changes from before, did I save the code, save like old code? I guess I would have had to. That's annoying. And this doesn't have history of some sort. This is the old code that like adds the equation and stuff, man. Well, okay. Guess I gotta do it. Okay, so those changes, the fade in, I actually used a dedicated fade in. I think I ended up adding it here. Oh, it's because I'm... Oh wait, this does make sense. It's because I'm logged out, I think. If I log in, it'll use the personal code that I wrote, I think. And so here, yeah, and so that does start automatically. Oh, there's some random issues here. I think due to the login stuff. So I think I need to take the code that I just wrote and just paste it in here. I don't know if that would work. Come on. There. I guess that one didn't change. So now, if I log out, and I go here, now that'll work. Okay, so that's great. And if I like switch these scenes, that'll still work too. It'd be nice to have an angle indicator for data in this, but anyway. Great, that works now. So I'm gonna log back in. Actually, I should really push this, I guess. Yeah, let me just do that and make sure, because I don't know for sure that everything will even work. This thing... Yeah, I will have to change this. This will have to be like that. This will have to be like that. Does the, I think the editor might have something weird too. And I think I fixed that. Okay, so maybe this is the only thing I have to do. If I'm lucky. I think I even made it a little bit smaller. There used to be some pretty large fonts being loaded. Now the only thing that's large is Pyodide. It's good it shows this banner even while it's loading. So again, no, it's not just totally broken. Okay. Oh no, you can't log in with GitHub. That's a link to the code. You have to log in with Google. I don't think it's very difficult to make it so you can log in with GitHub. Okay, great. So now that means intro. I could change this to, let's change this from green to orange. I think I can do this. Oh, I can't do this. I'm logged out. Well, let me see. Oh, I must have not used the color someplace. Okay, so that was able to update. That's good. I think if I present... Yeah, that's only going to use saved code. Which means I'll have to be logged in so you can save it. Oh well. Yeah, it's kind of annoying. Whatever, but I should probably put a Google icon here. Well, nothing's breaking as a not logged in person. So that's good. I think if I log in here, it should overwrite this public code with my personal code. Shouldn't it? I think it should. But I don't want to deal with that. Uh-oh. Why did that not work? That's so weird. Here, does it work? It works there. Here it just opens and closes. That is super annoying. And a pop-up that instantly dies. Gotcha. Why would that happen? Maybe it's like I think the local version had a warning about like cross origin something or the other. So I log in. It does have these issues here. Because the cookie's same site attribute is not set or invalid, it defaults to same site equals lax. Whoops. Which prevents that cookie from being sent in a cross-site request. This behavior protects users' data from accidentally leaking to third parties. Cross-site request forgery. Resolve this issue by updating the attributes of the cookie. Same site attribute. Why is it 22? What does the number 22 mean? Let's see. So this is closed. Not the same site, a future release of this, blah, blah, blah. This seems like a pretty old problem. Same site by default cookies. Having to get the user to change some settings seems pretty bad. Sign up with pop-up. I think that's what I'm using. Or was emitting it. Yeah, sign in with pop-up. Opens when it's just blank. I guess that's not what happens for me. This is what I get. Defaults to same site equals lax, which will prevent the cookie from being sent in a cross-site request, blah, 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 blah. Is it this same thing? It looks like the same thing. And there's people begging to have this fixed. There's people saying it's super breaking. Some person losing 2,000 users. Wait, this is like kind of long ago, isn't it? This does look like the same thing. It's just people like saying to fix this. Dang, that must really suck. I mean, this sucks for me. But it would suck if I already had a running site and then this happened. That, like, these guys really are getting screwed. And he says those warnings are not problematic. They're unrelated to Firebase. Incognito? Block third party. So this is unrelated to the warnings you see in the Google sign and has to do with Chrome's enforcement of the third party cookie policy and the way that we handle login flow. This issue is likely the cause of users being unable to sign in, and we are working on it right now. We see this comment for more details, and that's still open. Oh, what? Oh man, I lost it. What did I do? We see this comment for more details. And this one's open. That bug is unrelating to the warning message you see in the developer console during Google's sign-in. And then he closes this. And he says he doesn't care about these warnings. For folks who are unable to log in due to third-party cookie errors, we are tracking this error in 3004, which is this. This sounds like a disaster. Okay. This issue is due to Chrome blocking our use of local persistence within an iframe in incognito. So we understand that this behavior may become default in non-incognito in the future. This breaks our implementation of the pop-up and redirect flows. So they say it's on them. Fixing this issue will require a major rethink of how we can perform these flows, including updating server-side logic. We're also going to look to see if there are short-term fixes we can implement. Workarounds for now. As mentioned above, this is broken. On the client side, your customers can opt out of this new behavior. That's a really bad fix. Just tell them to like change their settings. That's really bad. So you have a long-term fix, you can update your app to perform a manual OAuth flow. I guess here's an example. By using sign in with credential, if you need to support Chrome incognito. They keep bringing up incognito as if it only happens in incognito mode. That's not true. What does that mean? So why does the problem happen? Well, I guess, this. The issue is due to Chrome blocking the use of local persistence within an iframe. They say it's in incognito mode, but it's obviously happening even if you don't use incognito mode. Why are they making a Verge article? That seems weird. Yeah, I'm not either. So, this is annoying enough. Wait, can I just like log in with GitHub or something? And just not do it with Google? Although it says Firebase off and not like Firebase off specifically Google or anything. Dang. Wait, how can you opt out of it? Allow all cookies? If you change the Chrome browser cookie settings, how do you even do that? This is probably gonna get me hacked. So here I'm gonna block third-party cookies in incognito, but I'm not in incognito. I'm gonna do allow all cookies. Okay, then that looks like it didn't do anything. Though I don't know if this takes effect immediately. Abandoning your employer. I'm just using whatever works, that's all. Yeah, this is still broken. I don't know if I need to reset. I don't know if this takes effect immediately though. If I open it here though, that should work. Yeah, it's still not working. Okay. So I'll go back to where this was. Well, that's really annoying. I guess I have to rework this. And do this, doing it manually. Same site attribute. Well, I'm pretty sure this is it. Although these, I don't know if... It's weird that this says incognito mode. Let's see. Email the CEO. Yeah, I'll just do that. This looks like the problem. That it closes immediately. Pops up and closes immediately. Due to an error, which you can catch using step 5 from here. Just modify sign-in with pop-up function public scripts main.js. Oh, maybe I was doing something else the entire time. It's too complicated already. Catch function error, handle errors here. In my experience, the error code could be something like auth unauthorized domain. The error message could point to the restricted domain you're accessing from. Okay, so maybe it's this. I am using sign-in with pop-up. Error code equals error.code. That's already here. Why'd you console.log it and alert it? The error.email. Okay. Okay, console.log and alert that. Then console.log and alert this. Okay. And this only happens on the deployed site, so I guess I'm gonna have to push that. Okay, hopefully that'll give you some information. Point to the restricted domain you are accessing from. This domain is not authorized to run this operation. Add it to the OAuth redirect domains list in the Firebase console. Oh, I haven't done that. This thing always needs to be updated, like constantly. Better log in here. It does say auth unauthorized domain. This domain is not authorized to run this operation. Add to OAuth redirect domains list in the Firebase console, auth section, sign in method tab. Okay, let's open the Firebase console. Oh, man. Never use a new keyboard. It's a trap. Okay, auth section. Sign in method. OAuth redirected domains. Okay. That's a domain. This is a problem on your end. Yeah, it looks like it was. Well, assuming this works. So let's try this again. Works for you. That's nice. Okay. Okay, so then... Cool. So I can go here, whatever. Now I can save. That's cool. I can do this. And if I change like some of the colors for me, it shouldn't change the colors for like everyone. So I make this like orange. I could save that. I think I have to re-render it. Okay, yeah, now this is orange. Great, but I don't actually want it orange, so. I'll save that again. It needs some feedback on the screen. Like nobody's gonna look on the console to see if the save worked. So there should be some notification. You're able to sign in. Great. Cool. All the authentication stuff I didn't actually do because I wanted people to log in. I did it because I wanted to be able to save. That's basically it. And I didn't want it to be that if I push the site, then anyone would overwrite my data. And so I had to do all this authentication stuff just for that. But hey, if you want to log in and do stuff, I guess you can now. Eventually I have to add a way to like add new scenes and stuff. Oh yeah, especially since the way to do animations is so cumbersome. Probably won't be that great of an experience writing this code anyway, unfortunately. Yeah, so that's that. Well, it's been about 2 hours now. I think that was a good P5JS clone. Kinda. A little bit. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's been about 2 hours. I won't do a raid this time. I'll just cut it here and hopefully make the animation experience a little better. Because this isn't that great, this add fade in and stuff. Okay, so made a ton of progress, that's good. And thanks a ton for watching. I'll see you in the Discord or next stream. Okay, so see ya.